Last year saw a record number of wind farms built in Europe, but it's still way short of what's needed to meet the EU's green energy targets.
It's a very ambitious target. Last year, if I recall it correctly, we counted 17 gigawatt, which has been installed in Europe. So if we just count what we have installed today until the end of the decade to reach the target, we need 31 gigawatt every year, in average.
They want us to build twice as many new wind farms as what we're building today. Now, we can do that, but we're facing competition now from Chinese wind turbine manufacturers.
Hello and welcome to Business Planet. ZF Wind Power in northern Belgium's a world leader in the manufacture of gearboxes, the heart of a wind turbine. But as demand rises, can production keep pace? Let's find out. Turbines are getting bigger, and so are gearboxes and powertrains, and the equipment needed to test them too. I joined ZF Wind Power CEO Felix Henseller in the factory in Lommel.
What we see here on the test rig is a 7.2 megawatt machine, and we are also testing it by 7.2 megawatt with full torque and full vibration and full load.
Aware the clock is ticking, the EU's launched the Wind Power Package to accelerate the wind industry build-out. Felix Henseller says while doubling next year's unrealistic, some factories are actually underused, meaning room for rapid growth once the orders come in.
There is already capacity available in the market, which we could use to ramp up. It is ambitious, but in general also not impossible to reach it. But we need to start now. We have all the tools in hand now, even with the Wind Power Package, which has been released last year from the European Union, and all the member states agreed on it.
Is it frustrating that it's just come now at the end of 2023?
The real frustrating thing is that wars need to happen to make them aware. This is a point which is frustrating. The speed afterwards, I have to say I'm quite proud of the European Union. I've never seen such a speed before.
ZF Wind Power makes powertrains for Vestas, the world's leading wind turbine manufacturer. I caught up with Group Senior Vice President Morten Deerholm in Denmark, who says Europe needs to simplify bureaucracy or it'll run out of time.
It can take in Europe, for example, between 7 and 10 years from, policymakers decide to go ahead with a wind power project until it actually starts producing electricity to the grid. So, we have this, we can call it the say-do gap.
Wind power is 19% of the electricity Europe consumes, enough to cover Portugal's entire electricity use. The target is 30% by 2030. 26 EU countries have now signed up to the Wind Charter, committing to the actions outlined in the Wind Power Package. These include streamlining permitting rules, improving auctions by indexing prices and reducing the problems caused by rising inflation, and investment in ports and the grid. For industry body Wind Europe, based in Brussels, this is welcome news.
Crucially, it's getting easier to get permits for new wind farms. It was very difficult. It was very legal and bureaucratic. The European Union's now brought in new rules to simplify the permitting. In Germany and in Spain, last year they awarded 70% more permits for onshore wind than they had done in the previous year. But we're facing competition now from Chinese wind turbine manufacturers.
How fierce is the competition?
Very fierce. They are coming in, offering lower prices than what we offer. They know what we offer, and they undercut us. And they offer very generous financing terms. They say you do not need to pay us for 3 years. Deferred payment. We're not allowed to offer that.
And China is also worryingly strong in terms of critical raw materials.
Today, we depend on China for rare earths that are in the permanent magnets in many of our wind turbines. The EU wants to reduce our dependency on China, diversify the supply. The industry wants that as well, and we're working with the EU to try and make that happen. Source these materials from other countries, even expand the European supply chain for these materials.
Time is of the essence if Europe's wind industry is to realise its full potential, not only in terms of the energy produced by the wind, but keeping control of its supply chain and manufacturing. See you next time on Business Planet.